We'll adjust as necessary. Now, give me a second to pull up the chats. Hello, hello, and welcome. It's that time again. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome in, my friends. If we friends. If we ain't friends, then still welcome, but disregard that friends part. Oof, alright, and I gotta mute this. So it's that time again. The sun has moved another 10 degrees, so that means it's time for me. There we go. That means it's time for me. I feel like I don't have to pop it out. It's time for me to upload the next 10 days. Okay. Oh my gosh. What just happened? What is this? Alright. So I'm going to be starting with the Witch's Tarot by... Oh, it's at the top. What? Alan Dugan. Or Duggan. And then I'm going to be using the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, I believe. I just looked her name up like yesterday. And so I'm going to be using the Nine of Cups as the significator. I don't know how deep I'm going to go. But maybe I'll still do 3 deep. Why not? So this is an all upright deck, just clarifying. I don't think I have any like announcements like ever, so. Oh snap, I see that Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. I like that. And that is Chino against my door. So, Pisces season, second decade. This would be Cancerian influence. Now, we're moving into the Cancerian influence period, so expect for things to get a little more emotional, probably, or a lot more. King of Pentacles and the Lovers. Wow, look at those. What a pair, right? And Justice. Okay, on the bottom of the deck. All right, I see y'all. Well, is Cancer bringing the Justice? Cancer influences more, I'm not going to say more intuitive than Pisces, but it's more of a familial, motherly influence, more homey, more grounded in I feel like Cancers might be the most grounded water signs because Scorpio is deep fixed water, right? And they're like at the bottom of the ocean. Pisces is dreamy. So Pisces is in with the Four of Swords and the Four of Wands. Pisces is in like their own reality, and Cancer is like, they're at the surface of the water. They're the cardinal water, so they're the waters that like it's safe for people to swim in, right? Unless people go like scuba diving or deep sea diving in a submarine. So yeah, that's what I mean by like them being the most grounded. Four of Cups, which is Cancerian energy. They can still be, they're still water signs though. So it's not like, all of a sudden they're like earth signs or even air signs. I'll give this one more shuffle and then I'll get started. And then I will get started. Nope. That was a terrible shuffle. There we go. I'm going to cut into 4 piles. Oops. I'm going to be looking for the 9 of Cups to signify the Oh, snap. What is this? Starting us out is the Six of Wands. I love it. Victory. I feel like the delay isn't as bad today. Loving that. Six of Wands, victory is what we're starting off with. Again, looking for the Nine of Cups to signify Pisces season, second decan. 8, 9, 10 are the Pisces cards of Cups. 8, 9, 10 are mutable. Hey, there's a Nine of Pentacles. Regonian energy. 8, 9, 10 is mutable. 2, 3, 4 is cardinal. And 5, 6, 7 is fixed. Fun fact. Okay, I don't need to take this long. 6 of Pentacles. Wow, that's a whole... Oh, never mind. 6 of Pentacles into the 3 of Pentacles, making the 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles is right here, followed by the 8 of Wands. Ooh, and the Lovers. Gross. 7 of Cups, though. Still options. Oh, still closing out karma. Still learning ourselves, I see. Still learning ourselves. It's a process. Hold on. How did I do this last time? Last time I just picked the heart, didn't I? Yeah. And I think that's another reason why I went 3 deep. Okay. My setup, my space. Ooh, the King of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, followed by the Sun. That's an interesting combination. Well, I think, once we come into this financial season, we'll be less burdened and less stressed on our 3D. And with those removed blockages and burdens, then we can... Oh, look at... Oh, followed by the High Priestess. I love that. And there's the Queen. It's like then after that, we can... It frees up space whenever we're not stressed, right? And so we can more fully... There's the Gemini card, 9 of Swords. There's the first decan of Pisces. So now the first decan of Pisces is sitting under the 10 of Wands, above the moon. I think the moon actually came out too for the first decan, with the King of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles sort of on both sides. So I think we might have still been like balancing sort of our physical situations, our health, our family matters. And maybe now we've come to a point where we can handle it a little better emotionally, right? With the King of Cups there, it's not sort of blocking us as much as it used to. We still might not know why we're going through everything we're going through with that moon card still being on the bottom, but I think part of it is for us to not know, right? Because if we knew everything, then there would be no point for us living. Right? Oh, there's that 10 of Cups that's a little damaged. Alright, 9 of Cups, where are you? There she is. Oh my goodness, I was beginning to... Oh, with the Hierophant. Oh, goodness, followed by the... the Hermit. Oh. On the bottom of the deck, left is the 3. It's the 2. It's the 2. I always get the 2 and the 3 mixed up in this deck. I don't know why I do that. The 2 of Wands. Hey, Bloomin' Rose. Hi, friend. Welcome. I don't know how long you've been there, but hey. I'm just pulling for the second decan of Pisces right now. So, we have this one... This one comes down here. Oof, with the World at the bottom now. I love that. So this will be the bottom, and then this comes over to the past. And then everything else goes away. Alright, well, let me not mess this up. Give me 1 second. You chilling? I'm chilling. I should be working, but I'm chilling. I'm gonna start hitting it hard after... this. Well, after this, I got a post on Instagram, and then I'm gonna hit it hard. I've been in this like really interesting space lately where I'm just like, who am I? Because I'm not who I used to be. And I feel like I don't necessarily need to know who I am, but I'd like to know who I am. It's like if I'm not the person that I used to be, then who am I now? And what does that mean? And do I need it to mean anything? Or maybe I should just go with the flow, right? I don't need to define myself anymore. So, I don't know. I've been in my head. You get that? Yeah. Because it's like, I'm not... The reason why I make the choices and decisions that I make is different now. There's that Wheel of Fortune. Oh no, that means it's not going to pop up. Oh, the Seven of Swords is in front of the Wheel of Fortune. Y'all see that? Maybe that's my sign. Don't question it, because if you question it, you lose it. You might lose it. Oh my gosh, I almost got scared. I was like, wait, where did that go? Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, this is the top. This is here. This is here. This is the bottom. And this was the left. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now let me resituate this. Give me 1 second. I'm getting confused. Mercury is still in retrograde, which means my brain is still on vacation. Let's see. A lot of this is pretty much more or less in frame. Pretty much, more or less, in frame. This is good, though, because the significator came up in the topmost pile again, which means that we are moving forward. How are you doing today? Oh, you're chilling, I already asked. Okay, all right. So, and then I'm also going to use Oracle cards this time. Hey, Zelda. Welcome in, y'all. Hello. I'm just now starting. Let me see. Get this timestamp. What's my runtime, YouTube? Usually YouTube tell me. Oh, well, I'll get it later. Your new job's going well, although some people rolling their eyes at you. Well, let them roll their eyes. As long as they don't mess up your... As long as they don't mess with your coins, with your pentacles. But I'm glad it's going good, Zelda. Okay, so in the past, we're a little closed off. I feel like this came up last time. Ooh. So Page of Pentacles. I think we could be dealing with in the second decan. The second decan of Pisces is a Cancerian influence again. So we're coming into a little bit more of the mushy side. Less dreamy, but more feely. Which is weird, right? But it can also deal with family. Particularly those that were kind of sort of... Oh, snap with the shadow side left at the top of the deck. I didn't even see that. I feel like that means something. So we're dealing with potentially family. Potentially younger family members. Maybe family members that look up to us in some kind of motherly way. But then we also have this Three of Swords heartbreak. And this Four of Pentacles sort of like reservedness. So we could be dealing with the energies of like, either this could be someone to us or this could be us to someone else, but it's almost the feeling of like, we feel like we know better for someone, or someone feels like they know better for us. And they're looking at our situation and circumstances, telling us what we should do, upset with us that we're not listening to them for some reason, potentially, or this is us for someone else, right? And so it's causing this sort of contention where we would rather be reserved and we would rather be to ourselves than really listen to this person. This is interesting. And Mercury will still be in retrograde. Hey, Miyoshi. YouTube is trash. And we'll still be in Mercury retrograde. So this could be something that was like, has been bubbling up or boiling up for a minute. I know currently in my situation, I needs to get out. So, but I feel like there's this contention that's kind of sort of coming in. And it feels very familial. Because we have the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. So this is like heartbreak surrounding the family area. Someone younger, potentially, because we have a page. And the Four of Pentacles, that is Capricorn energy. So we're moving into this Cancerian influence, which is the mother of the zodiac. But then here's, in the past, we have this Capricorn fatherly energy as well. So it could be like a single parent, right? Someone who has to play both roles. Could be someone who, again, like, they just feel like they know better than you, but they're a different person. So they might not necessarily, I don't know. In the present, and then we do still have the shadow side energy sort of like remaining at the top, right? What's at the bottom again? At the bottom is the Magician. So that's interesting. Y'all see that? The Devil at the top, Magician at the bottom. So I think we're going to be manifesting our way through these sort of difficulties, or trying to. Reclaiming a bit of our own power. Recognizing that the way we do things might not necessarily be the way other people do things. And that there is merit in the personalized way that we do it, because we're doing what we feel like to do, right? We're doing it in the way that is meant for us because it's coming to us. And if everyone could do it the same way and have the same success, then probably literally everyone would be like billionaires, right? If all we had to do was follow exactly what somebody else did. But people don't seem to understand that, like, you know, and this is kind of sort of an aside, but like, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, let's just go to the present. So, we had this King of Pentacles and this Two of Pentacles. This is interesting. Lots of earth energy so far. Lots of familial influences. And maybe our health, family and health. So he's looking at this pentacle and he's holding this pentacle, right? I think for some of us, this could be a new stability. Or we're finding new stability, right? Because this... Yes, Zelda. Very good. But I think we're coming into this new stability because this is the two. Right? So either... And then the energy right now, heroically, is wish fulfillment. We're in that Nine of Cups season, second decan of Pisces, right? And so between all of this, I feel like this is us sort of like, wow, I love this setup. I can see. Okay. Miyoshi. Because with this king, I feel like that's long term. But this is where we're at. This is the present. And he's looking at this pinnacle. So I feel like we can feel ourselves either coming upon something that will give us lasting abundance, or that will end a lot of the financial constraints we're feeling the grip of, if that's something you're feeling. This could be a new addition to the family as well, because he is kind of looking at that pinnacle like it's a baby. Maybe not. That ain't for everybody. But I think we're starting to prioritize right now, or in this period of time, we will be prioritizing sort of like what's important to us, recognizing how we can get there, and with this Nine of Cups, like making that our focus. Because like when you're telling somebody that in this past, right, if you're telling somebody, well, this is how I do it, the way you did it works for you, the way I do it will work for me, but like if we're not doing anything, then it's like we just gotta do something. It's time to start doing stuff, and I'm exactly in this energy right now. As soon as I get off of here, I'm prioritizing all the things that I need to do, so I will be working on them. I wish I could switch these. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just got distracted. But it's time to prioritize, like, if we want to see change in our day-to-day life. With all of this earth energy on the table. If we want to see that change, then we have to begin to enact that. Oh my gosh, and then the Hierophant is right here, which is Taurian energy. And the King of Pentacles is also Taurian energy, because it's fixed earth. Kings are fixed, queens are cardinal, knights are mutable. So much earth on the table. Y'all's like, we really in this mood to, like, to do better. Right? Like, I know I am. Like, it's time to do better in my day-to-day life. I want to start making money. And I will. Today is Saturday, so on Monday I'm going to go to a place and I'm going to get a job while I'm here, waiting to hear back from this other job, right? There are things that I can do in between now and, my end goal. So on the bottom, we have, ooh, I love this. Oh, wow. We have this Six of Wands victory, this King of Swords self-awareness, I'll say, and then this World card completion. And this is like the root cause of all of this, right? I feel like all of this is telling me that it's time for us to know who we are, to stand firm in our power, and to begin to bring the things that we wish to see into our own reality. I think if we've been waiting for someone to just give it to us, it's not going to happen. Because this is the second king that we've seen, right? And this King of Swords is under this King of Pentacles. And the Pentacle suit could be related to worth, and the Sword suit could be related to knowledge or awareness, consciousness, right? Thoughts. So it's like at present, there may be some disconnect between where we are and where we know we could and or should be, because we know our worth. We know the exchange rate for our spiritual currency and to physical coin. And it's like we're going to the exchange counter, whatever, and we're like, hey, I'd like to cash in like 10 spiritual coins, please. And they're like, okay, that'll be a penny. And you're like, hold on, wait. Like, my spiritual coin, each one of my spiritual coins is worth a ton of gold. So how you giving me 1 penny for 10 spiritual coins? And they're like, oh, well, it says here that the potential worth of your spiritual coin is that much, but in all practicality and honestly, it's not worth much right now because you're not really doing anything with it. So do the work, strengthen the value of this coin, and then I'll give you more pennies. And you're like, wait, what? I can't just cash in for what I know it's going to be? And they're like, yeah, no, that's not how it works. So with this down here, I think we're coming through this period of time. And I've been saying lately, whenever I go through something rough, or whenever someone tells me that they're going through something rough, I'll be like, oh, this is the good part of the movie, or this is the part of the book. Like, this is someone's favorite chapter of the book. Basically, when we tell our stories, these are the parts that make them worth telling. This is why people come to see us, to see how we've gone from where we are to where we will be, right? And it's not that great of a story if it's, good the whole time. Unfortunately, people like a little of this, and then they like a little of this, and some of this. But ultimately, we want to end up as this, right? I don't even know if y'all saw those, so I'm going to do that again. People want to see the drama, the struggle, the shadow side. Then people want to see, the temperance. They want to see us sort of like, how do I fix this? How do I solve this? This is the turning point. Then you have this dramatic conclusion with karma, closing out the cycles, judgment. And then, ultimately at the end of the day, we're this magician where we come into our power, and then they leave the theater, they put down the book feeling inspired and everything else, right? And I think the same is true for us. You know, if life were amazing all the time, then the good things that come to us, we would have no sort of bad experiences to compare it to really appreciate it. And so I think there's this double sort of effect going on right now, where not only are we learning to come into our own power, and are we learning to understand and become consciously aware of who, and oh, is this yellow, girl? His cloak is yellow. He got yellow on him. That's sacral. I was going to say F the sacral chakra, but let me stop. I've been seeing that a lot. And last time I saw it, it came out in reverse, and I literally just watched a video that could be related to the sacral chakra. So, do that. But for this, because, you know, limitless potential is amazing and great, but without a structure or a vessel to flow into, it can never hold shape. It can never maintain its form. So having the knowledge and awareness of everything that we need, or everything that we have within us, is great. But if we're not putting it into practice, if we're not giving it a, what do they call it? It's a word that's like a structure, but it's not a structure. A scaffold. If we're not building a scaffold around it, just to loosely like say or give it some kind of, if we're not putting any intention behind it, then potential is chaotic in nature. Potential is everything that isn't and everything that is. Like that, you could get anything with that, right? So I think with the kings that have come out, and with all of this earth energy on the table right now, it's time to give it shape. It's time to give it form. It's time to create a vessel through which it can flow and feel to then pour out onto us, right? And through doing that, that's how we shape our lives, right? So, fun fact, or not fun fact, but a little aside, excuse me, you'll want to make sure that you are giving this space, because we're in Pisces season. It's about dreaming, dreaming big. It's like Inception at that one point in the movie where he's like, you know, sometimes you have to not be afraid to dream bigger, or don't be afraid to dream bigger, or something like that, before he like launches the rocket, right? And I think the same is true, because it's gonna flow and fill the vessel that we create for it. So if you're creating a little K-cup, then you're gonna get a little K-cup of blessing. If you create a crater, you can get a crater full, like a lake or an ocean, right? Or a whole planet. But also we have to tend to it. So the bigger the vessel, like when you clean it, when you rinse it, the more you gotta clean, right? The more you gotta tend to. So maybe you could do like a few different sizes. Or like if you go big, make sure you're putting in the work and you're putting in the effort. Because I've been going big, and the amount of work and effort, honestly, that I've been putting in is not matching the size of the vessel that I'm holding, because I ain't done nothing when it comes to the schoolwork that I need to finish. But anyway, let's move on to the future. We have the Page of Cups, the Five of Swords, and this Three of... This isn't the future. This is the end goal. Page of Cups, Five of Swords, Three of Wands. Hey, I got it right this time. Y'all can't see none of these. So, in le futur, Page of Cups, Five of Swords, Three of Wands. Page of Cups, this is brand new. I think we're coming into a new space within our spiritual connections. And the energy is new, right? And so we're learning to work with something new. How many times am I going to say new? But it's like, you know, we're creating the vessel to be filled for the first time. And like, you remember how I was saying, like, you know, don't be afraid to dream bigger, to create a bigger vessel. But if you do, you're going to have to tend to it more. Like, look at all the water around her, and then look at her little cup. Like, all of that extra water that she could have been getting into her cup. But she ain't. But also at the same time, like, she's a child, so that's probably all that she can manage right now. So it's going to be an adjustment period. It's going to be a phase at which we get used to it. And it's not for us to be, like, hypercritical of ourselves. But just keep in mind, like, at the same time, we don't necessarily want to bite off more than we can chew. Not that I necessarily think that that's possible, but anything is possible. And just keep in mind that we're going to have to tend to this, right? Then next we have the Five of Swords. I think, this means it's going to require us to be obstinate in what we're going after. We're going to have to pursue it, no holds barred. And I think this is the type of power and authority that we're going to be learning to come into. Not that it should be misused, because it shouldn't be. But ultimately, it's a continuation and it's a furthering of the things that we already know with this Three of Wands. It's the next step for what we've been going through, right? You know, people have been saying, oh, we're coming into our abilities, we're moving from a 3D into a 5D, blah, 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 manifestation, blah, 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 blah. Well, what does that mean for us as vessels of the divine creator energy down here, right? It means that things are going to change, that we're going to have to be fluid and adaptable, and that we're going to have to go through these periods of readjustment. Like, his cloak is red, right? Red is the root chakra. So the very foundation of things is changing right now. And with these colors, this could be the throat, because that is a lighter blue. The throat coming out of the heart, right? And then this is swords. That's the mind. And so it's a foundational shift in the way that energy serves us and in the way that we use it. If we step up to it, right? This is like I was saying the other day. I don't remember what that was for, but it's like we have been given the keys and we're being asked to drive. Now, at first I said there is no chauffeur, so if you're waiting for someone to drive, you're just going to be waiting. But honestly, you could give the keys to someone else, I guess, and have them drive you around, but then you're going where they want to go and not necessarily where you want to go. Take it as it resonates. Take all of this as it resonates. And then in the future, we have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Cups, oh my gosh, and the Hierophant. This is the period of time that we just came out of. This is the first decan of Pisces. Eight of Cups, this is walking away. This is looking at the stars instead of like what we've known this whole time. Right? Like a star compared to a cup. Stars are, look, we're in this Nine of Cups energy of wish granted. And there's 8 stars in this card. 8 wishes. And now it's like, you know, wow, with the power to have all of my wishes at my fingertips, I don't even know, like, how to react to this. I don't even know how to handle this. I don't know what to do with this. This is too much. And it might feel like a lot, right? But I think it's for us to begin to learn how to use this. So in the future, we have Ace of Wands. Girl, what is this? Low battery. I thought I plugged this up. Am I still on? 1 second. Oh my gosh. Well, my laptop is fine. Oof, y'all. I'm just going. There we go. Hope I ain't mess it up too much. Whoo. Yeah, my laptop will be fine. I'm almost done. So, excuse me. With this Ace of Wands, I feel like this is us coming into this new gift and realizing the true potential of it. Remember, the Magician is the card at the bottom of the deck right now, with the shadow side, the devil energy, being at the top. So in the future, we sort of have both of these influences. And then we have this. These two together would give us that devil energy. And then this one would give us the Magician energy. This is the shadow side. I say this is the shadow side because with the Eight of Cups, this is walking away from the past. This is walking away through the cycles that we've been through and everything that we already know. But with the Hierophant energy here supporting it, this is strong ties to rigid structures and to the way that things have always been. This is strong ties to a previous framework for divine energy. But it's like the energy has outgrown this vessel. And that's why we're being called to look at the stars now instead of the cups that we already have. And then on the other side of that is this wand. This is us stepping into greater potential to direct the flow of energy in and around our lives. Because if you direct the flow of energy, if you manage the vibration, you determine the level at which you live, right? Everything is energy and everything is emotion. And so there's this sort of like, excuse me, I don't know why I'm so tired all of a sudden. But there's this sort of conflict and this sort of contention between the two. And honestly, I've been feeling this. I've been feeling this today, this exact energy. And I was going to be like, it's so annoying, but I don't want to say it's annoying because I understand the purpose behind it, right? But at the same time, it's not ideal. And I've just been in this like wonky-ish space. For the past few days, I've been feeling really good. Or today and yesterday, I was feeling really good. On the 27th, I was kind of out of it. I was feeling a little donkey, like down and wonky, like not myself. By the end of the day, I was able to come out of it, thankfully. But I feel like both my fears and my hopes and dreams are being affirmed right now. And I see it like whenever I open up my homepage on YouTube and I see something, sometimes if it resonates, if the title resonates, I know like this is for me, I'm meant to see this, right? And so if I'm in a questionable space, if I'm more of this energy, more of this Eight of Cups, Hierophant, like wanting, like looking forward towards the future but not fully able to let go of the past, then I'll see a reading that will affirm that past energy. And then if I sit in that past energy, I'm like, yep, I should do this, I shouldn't have did that, blah, 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 whatever. And then after a certain point, I'll catch myself and I'll be like, hold on, wait, no, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't seem right, this isn't where I am anymore. And when I start to get back into like what I'm looking for or what I know is coming, then I come more into this Ace of Wands energy. And it's like literally today I watched 2 videos back to back. And the first one was affirming all of my fears. And the second one was affirming my hope / what I know is. And I'm like, this is so annoying. Like, I don't like it. And I'm glad I have this like King of Swords right now, right? Because this is the point. This is what I can't really explain. This is what I don't know how to explain to people. Like, I have this knowledge and awareness and this consciousness that I'm in now where I can look at it for what it is. I'm like, okay, so if I'm seeing both my fears and my hopes and dreams being affirmed, I know that it means this. I know that it means, like, it's an option to choose victory. Like, this is the root cause for everything that's going on right now. It's to achieve and fulfill and attain victory in our personal lives and our worlds through this knowledge and this consciousness and awareness with the King of Swords. Because the King puts it into action, right? Masculine energy is the protector and it's the structure. Feminine energy is the energy and the creation. But creation without shape is chaos. Now, I do like abstract things. I ain't gonna say I don't like something abstract and nebulous, because I love nebulous things. But at the same time, it's like, okay, knowing what I know now, what does this mean if I'm being shown that my fears are true and my hopes are true? That means that it's a decision. It's a choice that I'm making. Okay, so what am I going to put my energy towards? What am I going to work towards? What am I moving towards? Am I going to turn around and go back to everything I just came out of? And I'm going to make the same choices and decisions that I used to make that led me down roads and paths that I didn't like? Or am I going to choose something new? Am I going to choose something that I actually want? Am I going to choose to direct my energy towards my hopes and my dreams instead of my fears and my insecurities? Because both can become a reality right now. And being stuck in the middle, like sometimes not making a decision is a decision. Especially for me, because indecision is one of the things from my past. Like I used to be indecisive all the time. And I would stall on choices, I would stall on opportunities until they passed me by. So me being stuck thinking about it, for me personally, is choosing this Eight of Cups and Hierophant. That is me choosing to be bound contractually to the things that I used to do in the past that I no longer have to be contractually bound to. Also, with all of this earth energy on the table, like the energy on the table is a lot more fixed than it is fluid. Like earth does not move. We have so much earth on the table, and then air, and then fire. Right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like the world is kind of an earthy card. So 6-ish earth cards, right? Then we have 1, 2, 3 air cards. 1, 2 fire cards. And 1 water card. 2 water cards. So a lot of the energy on the table is a lot more fixed than it is. Or it's a lot more fixed than it is mutable or mobile. And so I think that's going to be part of this great challenge in the next 10 days is like, in the previous 10 days, because we have to walk away from things going from the 8 of Cups to the 9 of Cups. We have to walk away from things before we can get our wishes fulfilled, right? 8 of Cups, she's looking at the stars. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. 10 of Cups, ultimate, joy, bliss, happiness, whatever. Excuse me. But to do that, it requires us to walk away. And if we look at, like, the past, the energy that we've been in is this. It's Page of Pentacles energy. Right? And I said this before. We've been in this Page of Pentacles, cardinal earth energy, where we have this opportunity to move into this, like, abundance that we create, that we protect, that we establish with this king. And it's fixed. So it can stand the test of time. And I think it's for us to realize, like I said, with this up here, it's a progression, right? It's a shifting of times, it's the shifting of the energy, it's an ascension of everything. It's a gift to us to more fully and responsibly, hopefully responsibly, create the lives and realities in which we live. And it's it being more available to us. But we're being asked to come into our sovereignty, our birthright, royal powers and abilities, rather than staying at this page level where we're reliant on everyone else to really do it for us. And again, like in this time and space and energy, like you can give your power to someone else, you can give the keys to someone else to let them drive for you, but I don't know, it's a gift, right? Like don't, and like this, that's the Two of Pentacles. It's the choice. Don't, and you can tell, like, look, one pentacle is higher than the other pentacle. That's why things are like weird and different, because things have changed. But I mean, you can toss the light, and like the higher pentacle is lighter. It's not as heavy. Goodness, not goodness, but come on, like I know the choice I need to make, and I'm partially saying this. Oh snap! Is this a 6 of Cups? Ooh, 6 of Cups. Love that. I'm partially saying this because I had a whole conversation with one of my friends yesterday about this and about all these questions that I'm asking myself, and like there are things that I know I could be doing to attain and obtain the abundance that I want, but I'm not doing the things that will move me forward, and I'm not really taking advantage of the opportunities being presented to me. And so it's like, okay, well, how upset can I be? Like, how bad do I really want this? With the World card and the Eight of Swords. Can y'all see those? Eight of Swords in the World. Because it's like, you know, if you really wanted this, you would take off that blindfold. You would realize that you are the only person in your way. And even with that realization, like, you would stand out of the way. Not only would you stand out of your own way, but then you would get behind your own back and support yourself. Bottom of the deck, as I put it away, Six of Wands. Top of the deck, Ten of Swords. Oof. This is Kali in the other deck. This is Gemini energy. Third deck in a Gemini, specifically, right? Excuse me. So that's Gemini with some Libran energy. No, that's Gemini with Aquarius. Which is interesting. Things got to change. Old cycles have to end. In order for us to reach and attain this victory. Right? I mean, like, look at all those wands. Look at all that power. Like, I'd rather create the life for myself that I want, and I'm not choosing my fears anymore. And it's just one thing I've kind of low-key been realizing about a lot of things. With the way that things play out, if we were a little more conscious and in tune, I feel like we would know what a lot of the things mean. Let's see. I'm not going to say this is a pick a card phase, but I kind of want to pull 9 of these. 9 cups, right? 9 cards. So I'll shuffle and then take the one from the top. And I'll shuffle. And I'll shuffle. Ooh, well, this one gets 2 because that one tried to come out. So now there's 10. And I'll shuffle. These will come from the middle because it's on the middle. And I'll shuffle. So maybe, like, choose a row, 1, 2, or 3, a column, 1, 2, or 3, a diagonal, whatever, or not. It's up to you. I mean, I'm going to read all of them. I don't know if this is necessarily, like, a choice. I just want to pull some oracles. And then we'll do the last one. Yeah, it leads me to appreciate the knowledge and awareness and understanding that I've cultivated and the questions that I've asked in order for me to see the things, as I've seen them. And then these will come from the bottom. So, whenever something comes from the bottom, it could be anything. Oh my gosh, this one gets 2 too. Slick sliding out. Ooh, this one's trying to get a whole deck. Okay, alright. So let's start from the bottom. Are they all in frame? More or less. Okay, nice. So here we have the Thinking Man. I saw him yesterday. He was at the bottom of the deck when I was done. The Thinking Man. What do men think about, honestly? Let me stop. With the Thinking Man, that's a lot of contemplative energy, right? If we look at the Thinking Man, I feel like thinking is more of a masculine thing. Just because when we think, we go with logic and analyticism, right? The Thinking Man and, like, the knowing woman, like, the woman knows because she's intuitive and she's connected and she feels her way, right? The man thinks and plots and plans and schemes and, in essence, is just naturally slower because he has to come up with contingencies for everything. And by the time he's done thinking, the knowing woman finished the race like 10 days ago because she was walking and moving and trusting and knowing and being guided. And especially if the knowing woman was running, now if she had that level of trust, the race is over. The only chance the thinking man has against the knowing woman is if the knowing woman isn't completely trusting, and if he thinks really, really, really quickly, because then he can just run like full speed ahead after he's thought of everything, right? Anything that comes up, he knows how to handle it. He knows how to deal with it. Anyway, with this thinking man, I think this is us. I think this is speaking to the limited knowledge and awareness and consciousness that we have as human beings in this experience, in this time, and how it can directly conflict with the energies at hand. Because we're overthinking things, we're slowing it down, we're halting the process, and then we're analyzing and we're critiquing what's in our actual physical reality with the knowledge, like thinking like, I thought this was supposed to have changed. I've been feeling this. If I've been feeling this, then why haven't things changed? Why are things still the same? Blah, 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 right? But it's like, you know, some things can't be fully comprehended by a limited mind. A lot of things can't be fully comprehended by a limited mind. Oof. Next card. It's in reverse. What is this? Y'all know I'm partially hard of seeing. The door to spirit in reverse. Oh, I love this, right? And he's looking in that direction. He's like, wait, I thought that door to spirit was open. Why is the door to spirit closed? Why would spirit tell me this, but then not give me this? And spirit's like, okay, well, why would you not do the things that we're telling you to do when we gave you it? And now you're looking at us like we're not helpful. Like, we're not there for you. Like, we're not supporting you when literally we're giving you all the answers. We're giving you all of the solutions. We've given you all the keys and you're not using any of them. But then you want to come to us, for us, talking about we're not helpful and we're not doing this and we're not doing that. When all reality and all actuality and all honesty, we already gave you the answers. And this is something I was talking about with my friend yesterday too. It's like, I know what I could be doing right now, but I'm not doing any of it. Why am I not doing it? And then I'm getting frustrated and I'm getting upset that my situation isn't changing, but I'm not doing literally any of the things that they're telling me to do right now. So that's why Monday, you best believe I'm about to start doing something. Okay. Oh, and then we have one upright and one in reverse. Nope, they're both in reverse. I take that back. We have the thinking woman in reverse, and we have the angel of balance in reverse. Angel of balance and the thinking woman in reverse. Both in reverse. I'm not doing the numbers today. Well, these numbers are 47 and 48. This was number 40. And this door to spirit is number 32. For anyone who wants the numbers. Now we have the thinking woman in reverse. And I think with that thinking woman in reverse, I think even the intuitive part of us is starting to wonder and we're starting to question because this door to spirit is in reverse. And so now it's got us questioning our intuitive abilities. It's got us questioning our journeys. It's got us questioning whether or not the things that we do are worth it, because in our mind, there is no perceived balance between the spiritual work that we do and our physical realities, right? Can y'all see my hand? No, y'all can't. Well, maybe you can. Yeah, you can, kind of. When all actuality, the weight of balance is on us right now. Because we're being given and told everything that we need. And it's time for us to play a more active role and a more active part in the things that we manifest, right? Meditation and healing and love and light only do so much. Now it's time for you to actually do something in your physical 3D reality you got to act on it. It's the action part. It's time to do. The time for thinking is over. Both men and women, the time for thinking is over. It's like, where's the doing man? Where's the doing woman? Where's the performing man? The expressing woman? The creative man? The working woman? You know, like, where is that? All you want to do is sit around and think. Girl, No wonder why everything is coming out in reverse now. The only thing upright is you thinking. Thinking with your logical 3D man brain. That's the only thing upright. Everything is in reverse because ain't nobody moving. And then we have the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. Oof. In reverse. Wait, what number is he? He's number 40? What is this? Oh, this is 46, y'all. I'm so sorry. So then we have this sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron, in reverse. The 6th chakra is the 3rd eye chakra in reverse. And again, I think this is talking about the disconnect between, and I was talking about this with Emily as well yesterday, because it's like there are some things that I can like, and it was also about this thinking man energy, which is interesting. But it's like there are some things that I know are coming into my reality soon. I can feel them about to physically, materially manifest in my life. And without necessarily doing it consciously too much, I feel like there's like the spiritual mind and then the conscious mind. And not the conscious mind as in like the conscious awareness mind, because that's the spiritual mind, but the conscious mind is like my man mind. I'll call it the man mind. There's the female mind and then the male mind. The female mind is the part of the mind that knows all of the spiritual manifestation, energetic, vibrational, frequency type stuff, and then the man mind is the logical, analytical, reasoning part of the mind. Left brain, right? So it's like my female mind, my woman mind, knows how close I am to getting all of these things. And as it gets closer, then the man mind tries to rationalize and conceptualize what it is. And while the man mind is doing it, it's taking all of these things from the past and stretching them. It's taking these things from the past and attempting to stretch them into the things that are coming. And it's annoying to me because it's all of these situations, like, if I'm being completely and 100% frank and honest, this is my channel, so hey, I get to do that. But so like when it comes to relationships, and there's this amazing relationship that I feel about to come into my life, right? Or it's about to enter that phase at some point. And I could feel it so much in my woman mind and in my heart. And then what my man mind will do is like, it'll take an interaction or a relationship with someone from my past and try to stretch it into the type of relationship that I feel coming. And I'm like, no. Like, no. Like, those people, not only was it that type of relationship, it would never be that type of relationship. Because that's not what I had with those people. That wasn't our dynamic. And so I get frustrated. I'm like, stop doing this. Like, brain, quit. Like, goodness. Like, it never would have worked with that person. And like, it wasn't even that enjoyable, honestly. It really wasn't. I feel like we know how to get it out. We just, well, in my case, I know how to get it out. I'm just not doing it. So I need to start doing it. And so when it comes to that, then it's like my brain, my man mind will try to stretch things that used to be as if they could ever be, and they won't. And then when it comes to work and when it comes to the material abundance, my man mind will go back to these things that I did in the past. And it will be like, you know, if I could have did this or done that or tweaked this, if I could have. It's like the man mind always goes to the past to try to build upon something in the past and stretch it towards the future. But everything from the past fell to tower moments because the foundation was not sound and because those structures were not inhabitable. They weren't designed to last the test of time. And the woman mind kind of looks towards the future, which is very interesting because in the 3D it's like the feminine energy more often than not is tied to the past, and it's tied to our emotions and our feelings, right? A lot of the times we feel something, we feel from the past. And then the masculine side is connected to the future, because it's the planning, it's the logical, it's the analytical, it's the forecasting and the predicting side. But when it comes to lived experiences, it is when it comes to thought, and even with feeling sometimes, but when it comes to thought, it's like we're going to the past and we're building upon it a lot of times, rather than creating something completely new. Or we are creating these like chimeras between like, take this from the past, this from the past, that from the past, add a little bit of something novel, and boom, we have something completely and totally brand new. And it's like, okay, yeah, cool, but like you just combined 5 different things into one thing. And we love convenience, yay, and instant gratification, woo! But like ultimately at the end of the day, like we had 5 things that could do the same thing. This isn't that new. And when it comes to like feeling an evolved level of feeling that I've come into, and like we're supposed to come into when we become masters of manifestation, because part of it is to feel into the space of something brand new that we've never had before. So it's like some people be like, well, how do you feel it if you've never experienced it, blah blah blah, whatever. Anyway, I'm moving on. And I don't even think I talked about this, but yeah, with that third eye, that's what I was talking about. Like there's this man mind, I feel like with the third eye in reverse, there's this man mind that is trying to stretch things from the past into things that could be to match the things that the woman mind, the female mind knows is coming. But if those things from the past were meant to be here, then they wouldn't have fallen so tragically and effortlessly and beautifully in the tower moments that came and shook them up, right? If they were really built to last the test of time, they would still be standing. And the foundation would have been improved and grown and built upon, instead of just like completely falling apart. Because if it was solid foundation, like you can rebuild everything else. Gotten comfortable. Oh, wait. No, not how to get it out. For us to come back out from going in so much. Oh, gotten comfortable, yeah. Yeah, I know I've gotten real comfortable being with Leon. I've gotten real comfortable sitting and meditating and not doing much. But it's time to work. Bible say, man, don't work, don't eat. I'm sorry. So next we have the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, number 38 in reverse. So we got the 4th chakra and the 6th chakra. Even chakras. Whoop, whoop. So not only is our third eye, our perception, reverse, but our hearts are also in reverse, which is again related to the thing I was just talking about, right? Where it's like, well, for me personally, when it comes to like this relationship thing, it's like I'm going back to people I've already met and interacted with in the past, and my brain is trying to stretch them into things that could go into the future. It's like, if we did this different, if we did that different, if that was a completely different person and wasn't who it was, then it would work. And then I'm like, okay, well, and like I can catch my brain doing it. So I'm like, I can catch the male mind, because the female mind is also strong in me. But it's like, you are turning this person into someone that they never were and would never be, male mind. So what's really up? And I was talking to Emily, and she asked me some question. And she's like, whoa, why did you do that? I was like, I don't know. I feel like it just happens. I don't think about it. But I think with this, there's a sense of security here. Because I think with the heart chakra, it could also talk about our sense of security, right? It's an emotional stability and comfortability. And I think it's almost like the upper chakras are being overused, and that's why they're coming out. Well, the heart chakra is like the middle chakra, but heart plus heart plus chakras are being overused, and the foundational chakras, especially the sacral and the solar plexus, are not being used enough. Where like we're seeing and we're feeling and we're knowing and we're trusting and we're believing, but we're not doing anything. We're too top heavy. And that's why we can't get our legs to move. That's why we can't get any traction in our day-to-day lives, because the bottom is what moves us, like the root, the sacral, the solar. That's what moves us and powers us through our day-to-day lives, through this 3D experience, right? Now, if you only sit in that and you don't engage the heart plus, then you're going to be limited in your scope, right? You're going to be just like, I feel like you can be successful, but it would be like empty success, right? That's when you see people who are super successful and super wealthy, but then like they have addictions and problems, and even with all the money in the world, they're not happy because they're all lower. And then when you get these people who are all upper, speaking from personal experience, it's like, yeah, I can sit in my room and try to be super quote unquote connected and enlightened and whatever, but my 3D physical reality kind of sort of still looks questionable. And it's not questionable, and I'm stepping away from the intention with which I speak to try to tell this story, right? And so I think there's this balance that we're coming into. Angel of Balance in reverse, right? Is it this one or is it this one? Are you the Angel of Balance? I believe you are the Angel of Balance. No, that's the Thinking Woman. Angel of Balance in reverse. There's no balance. There's no balance. There's no harmony. We gotta find that harmony. We gotta find that harmony. Find that anarchy. Gotta get that balance, G. Right? And the heart is the space that's like, it's the this. I'm doing this. It's the connection, the junction point between the upper three and the lower three. That's why it's so important that we're led from the heart. Because it's like, if the heart pulls us forward, then our legs and our uppers follow. And we move as this solid being led by the heart. You can't see my hands, but anyway. Next, I feel like I'm beating some of these to death. Another card in reverse. Patience in reverse. This is me. Call me out. This is just me reading myself. If y'all resonate, then thank y'all for coming. 16, patience in reverse. And I feel like this is like, it's related to all of this. It's like, I see it. I know it's coming. I know it's manifesting. Like, why is it not here? I feel it. So, it's like, I feel it like it's almost there. And it's making me all like, I'm acting out of impatience, and I'm stressing things, and I'm straining things, and I'm not doing anything that I know I should be doing to move anything forward. So, it's like, I don't know. Because it's like, like I said the other day, if you were really tired of the situation that you're in, you would be doing something about it. If you really wanted it to change, you would be listening to us and making the changes that we're telling you to make, so you can get further, so you can further yourselves, and so you can get where you need to be, so we can use you in the ways that we really need to use you, right? And so you can also be like happy and comfortable at the same time. It's an even exchange. It's a give and a take. Right? But right now you're just taking. You're taking all this knowledge, and you're taking all of this wisdom, and you're taking all of this connection, and then you're not doing anything with it. Well, okay. We're doing some things with it. I'll take that back. Don't call us out, the 3Ds. We're doing all of these upper things with it, which is part of the work that we're supposed to be doing, right? But we also should be doing some lower things. We should be these balanced beings. That is just like not happening. And I've been extremely impatient. And so I think, and also with the energy of impatience, it's like the things that we know are coming. We know that they can come without us doing X, Y, and Z, or A, B, and C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, or W. Like, we ain't got to do none of that to get these things. And I feel like part of us knows that. And part of us is like relying on that. And this is, I will speak purely for myself here. I can be a little unmotivated when it comes to 3D things. Like, if I could be completely comfortable doing, like, you know, throat, third eye, crown things, I would be doing throat, third eye, crown things and not doing any, well, the root, I wouldn't be really doing any, like, sacral or solar or anything. The only sacral things I would be doing is, y'all know. Let me stop. I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I derailed it. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's like it's time for us to do more. Because we're being called to do more. And we never know the power that our presence has. Especially if we're being led to work in an industry. If we're being led to the areas that could be seen as like less spiritual. Right? And this is me speaking for me specifically. Because like spiritual people exist everywhere, but not every industry, not every business is spiritually rooted, right? And so to be that person that could come in and to bring a light into these environments, that could be regardless of what you do, right? You can be a light worker and not be uploading videos on YouTube, doing stuff like that. You can be a light worker in your day-to-day. And I think some of us are being called to be light workers in our day-to-day. So true, we can be given all of these things and not have to go out and do this or that. But doing this or that is part of the purpose and part of the reason that we're here, because we're spreading our light in those areas that people might not necessarily come across it or be open and receptive to it, right? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. There's a reason why we're not just giving it. And yeah, it would be nice. And yeah, we'd be super comfortable and not doing anything. Speaking for me specifically. But that's not how it works. Like, unfortunately, there's stuff for us to do, and we, as you know, in our man minds, and even in our women minds, as our human consciousness minds, don't understand the full scale and of everything. But there is a force. There are those who do, and those are the things that are leading us. So maybe we should trust in them and do what we're actually being led to do. Speaking for myself. Okay, so yeah. Ooh, now we get to these top rows. Something upright, something upright, something upright. Yes, it's upright. Woo, I think we're moving, folks. It is 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, number 39. The one thing that we're doing is speaking, right? At least our throats are on point. So the even chakras are in reverse and the odds are upright. So hold on, I'm sorry. Oof. Getting a little warm. And I guess this is all still like resonating and speaking to the second decan of Pisces, right? Because this isn't anything separate. So I think a lot of this is the background. And this, it's the background, it's these are the energies sort of surrounding it all together. Maybe this part is just general, I don't know. But with this upright, I'm just excited I got something upright. You were lower chakra driven until what happened occurred, but I know it was for my highest good. Yeah, and I think a lot of us are. And I think that's what the dark night of the soul is, right? It's a call for us to move up and to not be so focused on the lower energies, on our 3D, on why this is happening to me and that is happening to me and blah, 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 right? And then, you know, we have these dark nights where we integrate and activate and awaken more of the uppers to really get a knowing and an understanding and to grow that connection in a functioning way, right? rather than just like, oh, I've been getting visions since I was a baby and this and that. Okay, well, what were you doing with those visions that you had been getting since you were a baby? You know, some people use them. I ain't gonna say that. But it's like, there's always more that you can know and more that you can understand. So we're coming into this higher knowing and higher knowledge and higher awareness being open. We're opening our vessels more, blah, 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 whatever. So with Gabriel upright. Gabriel, let me stop. I ain't gonna go there. But with this fifth chakra, the fifth chakra is the throat chakra. I believe I mentioned that. The throat chakra is about communicating. It's about speaking. And the throat chakra being the one closest to the heart, it's the upper chakra closest to the heart, closest to the ground, closest to our reality. I feel like that is the piece that we have to really affect. That's the piece that we have. That is the gateway that we possess to really affect our reality, right? That's why affirmations and mantras are so powerful and so important, because what we speak becomes. And what we think, what's that saying people say all the time? Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things, true, but what we speak is. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. Right? It's not, and God thought, oh, it's kind of dark in here, and then boom, a light came up. Thoughts are important, but speaking is also important. So it's time again. This is our timely reminder to clean up our words and our affirmations and our mantras and the things that we say and speak over ourselves and over the people that we care about, because what we speak becomes. Right? Especially if the thoughts and the feelings are behind it. When they're all lined up, that's how we really get into our power, right? And likewise, like the solar plexus is the closest chakra to the heart and the upper three. And so with the solar plexus, that comes to what drives us, what motivates us, who is in control of our lives, and how do we externalize that power, right? How do we act and behave that is a reflection of the upper three in our connection above and the heart? And then with the throat, it's like, how do we speak? And the speech is the portal to the lower three and the moving. That's what changes, right? The action is the portal to the upper three, and it sets our, I'm moving my hands and y'all can't see it. What we do sets our vibration in a way, because everything has a ripple, right? Everything has a ripple. Everything, if you drop a stone in a pond, it creates ripples. So our actions have ripples, and our actions set these things into motion to then come back to us. And so that in a way influences the upper three, because our actions, the further from the stone, the more subtle the wave, right? And it never truly disappears or dissipates. It just gets so small and so subtle that you can't see it. And on the outer edges of that lies the upper three, because then it goes up the chain. Yes. Well, wake them things up. Tell them, get up. Don't hit them. Don't slap them. Just tell them, hey, gifts, it's time to wake up. I will use you now as intended, I promise. Don't go to sleep on me again. Ooh, 2 upright. Hey, let's go. I like this top row. I should have pulled from the bottom more. Girl, I'm over it. I'm over it. Oh, wait, never mind. Ooh, okay, never mind. I thought this was the door to romance. So the door to value and strategy are both upright. Door to value is 31. Strategy is 21. Ooh, nice. I like that. Oh, I didn't even show them. Door to value and strategy. So strategy is different than thinking, because when you're thinking can be anything. Thinking can be ruminating on the past and like even nostalgia in a way is not necessarily the best, because you're going back. Excuse me. It's better than brooding on things that have happened for sure, but it's all past focused. What about the experiences that we have coming in now? What about the now moment? What about everything that we can enjoy right now? With strategy and the door to value, I think this is really speaking to. Oh, what did I just say about that King of Pentacles? And the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, right? I think that's that energy, where the King of Pentacles is the door to value and the strategy is the King of Swords. And it's all about us walking in a way that aligns with that. So I think the strategy part is us coming up with these tools and with these methods that we have at our disposal whenever we find ourselves out of balance. If you were experiencing, I don't know what the window for them energies was, but I'm going to say from the 25th to today, because it hit me on the 27th. So, but everything was just like weird and I wasn't myself. And no matter how hard I tried in the beginning of the day, I just could not seem to like get out of the funk I was in. But by the end of the day, I was good. But I think it's time for us to come up with these ways in which we can still be centered as we move forward. It's like come up with these ways where we can turn the angel of balance upright, where we can be top 3 and bottom 3 led by the heart, where we can encounter setbacks in these phases and not be completely shook by them, where we can have our off days but not allow our off days to turn into off weeks or off months or off years. And so with this door to value, it's like, have y'all ever seen, is it Princess Diaries? I've only seen it, I've seen bits and pieces of it like once or twice. But the movie where Anne Hathaway finds out that she's the princess of like Geneva or whatever, and then she has to like go through all of this to become royal and to become regal, right? I think that's the sort of process that we're going through. It's like, when we understand our value, when we understand our power, when we understand our worth, how does the way that we carry ourselves change? How does the people that we interact with change? Like, what do those people look like? How do the situations that we like handle, how does the way we handle situations change? How does the people we associate with ourselves change? How do we change to better suit and better accommodate and better herald and bring forth and show and display this new value that we find in ourselves, right? Because if we come into our regal, it's not capacities, it's capabilities, functions, kind of capacities, I guess. As we come into our like regal, more royal capacities, it's like we can't engage with things that pages would have engaged with. And we can't always engage in things that knights would have engaged with, right? Because we're not pages and knights anymore. We're kings and queens. We have a greater responsibility to the collective, to our loved ones, ultimately to ourselves and our higher selves, I guess. If y'all ain't trying to come back, let me stop. I'll just say it. If y'all ain't trying to come back worse next time, then like do better this time. You know what I mean? Because if we given all these gifts and all these abilities this time, and it's like, like part of that we'll always have, but it could be really, 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 really difficult for us to pick up if we ain't use them right the last time. or if we ain't do what we were supposed to do the last time. So then it's like you get sent back worse to work on your heart, to work on this and to work on that, to get you in this place where you will be of service to others before you get the abilities and powers back, and then you get a chance to use them right the next time. And then if you don't use them right that time, you start all over. It's like, okay, your soul needs a little bit more work. We can't give you the serious, heavy if you can't even use what you got. So I think a lot of that is the door to value, and a lot of that is the strategy. And even taking this up, since we're already talking about coming back, right? When it comes to like contracts, right? Soul contracts and stuff that we've already sort of decided before we came down here. Then it's like, okay, these are the gifts, and this is the skill set that I am using in this lifetime. And I need to structure my life in a way that I can be caring and kind and compassionate towards others, where I'm not full of myself, where I don't think I'm better than anybody else, where I can actually be of service. Because last time, I don't know if I necessarily did this right. So this time, I need to really get it in my head and in my heart, like, be of service to others. Don't do anything that would infringe upon the free will of others. Don't do anything that would set other people back, because in setting other people back, it doesn't further you. It only creates more karma for you to clear off in the next 10 to 15 lifetimes, right? Potentially. I haven't said potentially at all this reading. Potentially. So I think that's part of the strategy, and that's why we try to get the lesson from everything that we go through, because we go through everything for a purpose and for a reason. Nothing is without reason, nothing is without purpose, nothing is without a point. But you gotta see it. So, what have you been trying to tell yourself and teach yourself in a way that only you would be able to set it up? Because you know how you learn best, and you know how hard-headed and stubborn you can be as well, right? It's just a perspective to hold when you're thinking of your situations and like, what could this possibly be teaching me? Oh, wow. I like that perspective. That makes sense. I could see myself doing that. I probably would. And that's why I'm going through what I'm going through now. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Oh, no, it's in reverse. What card is this? Oh! Y'all know how I was just talking about contracts. Contract came out in reverse. So maybe potentially take this as disregard everything I said about the contracts, but keep the rest. But I'm not necessarily feeling it like that. I think this is a recollection. This is a recognition that we've sort of, like, we're already on brand. We're already doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're already in the point that we're supposed to be in. So, like, nothing is without point and nothing is without purpose, like I said, right? And it's for us to see the point and to see the purpose. It's for us to know that contracts are an active process. Both parties participate, right? You don't have to sign a contract that you don't agree to. Excuse me. And you might be like, well, if I don't agree to the terms of service, then I can't use the thing, and I want to use the thing. That's still like, you want to use it. They got rules. You abide by them. That's the agreement. You ain't got to use it. You ain't got to have it. You'd be perfectly fine without it. But it's to realize that it's an active process, and it's to realize that, like, I don't know if they can be renegotiated, honestly. So, and I think that might be one reason why it's a little hard and it's a little difficult sometimes. Because, I don't know if anyone would necessarily think, inquire before you acquire. Might sign up for some BS. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So Yeah, we are still in retrograde season. So if anyone is giving you a contract, make sure you double, triple, quadruple, quintuple check before you just sign it. If you can wait until after the season, wait until after the season. If you, oh, this is me. This is me paying for something I didn't even want to pay for because I got nervous on the spot and I signed the contract. I was like, girl, as soon as she pulled out that pen, something in me was like, don't sign it, don't sign it, don't sign it. But I was like, I'm already here. I can't back out. And now I'm in the situation that I'm in, which is fine. It's a learning experience and it'll be taken care of. And Mercury wasn't even retrograde at the time, but my natal Mercury is in retrograde, so I always need to double check. And my Jupiter is in Libra in retrograde. Libra deals with like contracts and legality. And mine is in retrograde. Can y'all believe it? And it's intercepted. It's intercepted and retrograde. Girl. I'm hiring someone to handle all of my affairs from now on because I do not have the placements to do it myself. I get backed into a corner like I did the last time and I end up signing something I don't even want. But when it comes to soul contracts, I don't know if they can necessarily be renegotiated, right? So if things get a little hard and if things get a little difficult, then things are just going to be a little hard and a little difficult until you understand and realize what it is. And that's not like taking this out of a soul contract level. That's just the life. That's just the way life goes. Like, if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're bound to repeat them. Like, if you don't learn that fire is hot, then you might get burned. Never mind. You're going to get burned a lot if you never learned, and you're going to keep getting burned because you didn't learn. So don't go blaming this door to spirit. Right? This is the door to spirit, right? Yeah, this is the door to spirit. Don't go knocking down the doors of spirit, being like, why are y'all letting this happen to me? Spirit's like, why do you keep doing this to yourself? Why do you keep manifesting the situations that you don't want to be in and then blaming us for it? Like, what's up with that? Take some ownership. Take some accountability. Goodness. You ain't as powerless as, like, you sit down there and you pretend to be. But anyway, thanks for coming, folks. Oh. I do want to pull... I typically like to shuffle out the energy I was just in and clear it with intentions. And then I'll pull something new. Oops, okay. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot. What's on the bottom of the deck? On the bottom of the deck, upright, is... What is this? It's the door to personal healing and happiness. 34, at the bottom of the deck, door to personal healing and happiness is upright. Yay! Love that. Well, let's see what all this is about. Is that the woman holding a heart? The woman holding a coin is upright. Okay. With the third chakra, Archangel Samuel in reverse. Okay. And the woman holding a heart in reverse. This woman is focusing on her coin and not her heart. That is, and with the solar plexus in the middle, like, she's like, that's what I'm about. I'm focusing on the coin. F the heart. Heart don't lead to nothing but heartbreak. Coin break, you got 2 coins. All of the... No, this is an odd chakra. I was going to say, all the odd ones came out upside down. But that was 6 and 4. 6 and 4 came out in reverse. Me. But I think with the solar plexus in reverse and the heart in reverse, it's like you focusing on the coin. Like, maybe this is saying that focusing on the coin is like lower too. That's like root and sacral. And like, that's it. Because that's not even like focusing on coin. That's not even like solar plexus, because like if you're doing what you're doing for coin is artificial. Coin can fluctuate. Coin in and of itself has no worth, has no value. Coin could be deemed worth nothing tomorrow, and then you got all these coins and basically you're broke when 1,000,000 coins is equal to 0 coins, because it's an outdated currency that no one accepts anymore. If we go to trading something else where coins don't even matter, then what do all your coins even matter, right? Then you're like Whitney Houston in the Heartbreak Hotel. The one threw a body at the county jail. The prison alligators made the county. I don't know what that made me go to Elvis. Jaws rock. But yeah, and this is what I was saying. Like, you know, the solar plexus is the closest to the heart. And the solar plexus, when in aligned, all the chakras, when in aligned, lead up. Right? So an aligned root would lead up to the sacral, and an aligned sacral will lead up to the solar plexus. An aligned solar plexus will lead up to the heart. Aligned heart will lead up to the throat. Aligned throat would lead up to the third eye. An aligned third eye would lead up to the crown. An aligned crown leads you up to really all that is. A healthy focus. My emotions are valuable, so those are no longer easily accessible. Got you. And I don't think having an open heart necessarily means being like easily accessible to other people, because our heart should be most open to ourselves, right? And when we love and care about ourselves, the things that we let ourselves go through, the people that we let ourselves interact with changes, right? It's like if you love your best friend and your best friend is with somebody who ain't ish, like you would tell him or her, like, this person is just using you. Why are you with this person? They don't have your best intentions at heart. Like, do that for yourself. Or we learn to do that for ourselves. And then and I got 3 more cards. Wow. And they're all in, 2 of them are in reverse. I have the Thinking Man in reverse now, Deceit in reverse, and Community upright. I love that. Thinking Man in reverse. Now, no longer lost in thoughts. Deceit in reverse. No longer being deceived. Community upright. When we change, when we heal, the people that we surround ourselves with change. If we've broken karmic cycles, we don't really necessarily have to worry about manifesting the same things that we used to manifest. So it is okay. Ew. Where's some water at? It's okay for us to let our guards down in some ways. Because when we have that knowledge and awareness of why we made the choices that we made in the past, I almost said mistakes, but mistakes would not come off of my tongue, so they were not mistakes. When we made the choices that we made in the past, when we have the knowledge and awareness of why we did that, then we no longer make those choices. So by default, we can be, a little bit more open, because it's like, I'm not going to make the same choice. So when it comes to this community upright, I think, a lot of this is saying that whatever lack, fear, whatever mentality that we used to have, if I open up to this person, then they're going to do this to me. And if I love this person, then they're going to take advantage of me and blah, 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 blah. Like all that stuff. It's like, okay, well, you can let it go now, because you're not manifesting from that space anymore, because you've healed that. If you've healed that, if you've done the work, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So let your guard down. Right? So, women holding the heart, you can get your heart and your pentacles. Or you can get the heart and the coin. But open up that heart. And then last but not least, and this will definitely be closing it out, I have for you, cornucopia. I love it. Open up that heart and let the blessings flow. Open up that heart and the tears won't fall no more. No more. I'm sorry. I'm feeling good now. Cornucopia got me feeling good. On the back, we have adjacent possibilities. I feel like this is saying that, like, with adjacent possibilities, it's like there are 2 doors that are literally right next to each other. 3 doors that are literally right next to it. There's an infinite number of doors that are literally right next to each other. And this cornucopia is hiding behind the door that our heart is leading us to. So if you close off your heart, you're going to miss that cornucopia. Unless you're really good at guessing, then I guess you might still get it. Who knows? Do y'all ever like singing quote unquote bad just for singing bad? Because I do that sometimes. And sometimes I'll dance bad, or not bad, but just like where people will be like, "Ew, what is that?" Because it's fun. I like it more almost when I'm like doing it intentionally wrong. I can't even put these cards away. Hello? There we go. So sometimes I'll sing like this because I like it and it's fun. Let me stop. Okay, well, that's all I have for ya. Thanks for coming in. It's been really fun. Have an enjoyable, safe next 10 days in Pisces season. I believe the sun, last night I checked at like 11 o'clock Central, and it was 10 degrees and a few minutes in Pisces. I thought this year I was going to be a leap year baby. Because for some reason I thought I was 10 degrees and 50 minutes Pisces. And I was like, ooh, that'll be on the leap year this year. But it's not. So I had my solar return on my birthday. Even in Eastern time, it was still the 28th. And I was born on Central Time anyway, so hey. Even though I was born in the early-ish AM, and it hit 2 minutes at like PM, but still, no problem. I know, right? I almost got it, Miyoshi. I was so close. And then I got on my time loop app, and it said sun conjunct sun 00 degrees separate. And I was like, what? Separating? I know that thing ain't at 50 minutes yet. But it was at 2 minutes. I had to check. I was like, oh, well, almost special. Almost special. That spirit saying you ain't special yet. Work a little harder, and we'll see what we get you in the next 4 years in 2024. All right. Oh, snap, I didn't. And it is. It is Slick another 2/2/22 day. Numerologically. Is that why I'm feeling so good today? Oh, let me eat some of these carrots. Let me keep the good vibes rolling. I did not realize that. Oh, Miyoshi with the numerology. But this is an 11/22 too, so this could be super special. Ay. Oh, snap. It is now 12:28 p.m. Eastern time, so we might be sliding into that second seal for today. The AM of today was the blue monkey, the blue something monkey, and the PM today was the yellow something, the something. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna shut this down. Y'all know I'm so bad at shutting these down. Thank you again, Zelda, Miyoshi, Blue Rose, for coming in. You had a smoothie yesterday and some veggie stir fry. Wow, I had broccoli, onions, and garlic, and Chinese noodles. So it wasn't quite stir fry, but it was really good. Yellow spectral human. Ooh. Okay, all right. Well, stay golden, humans. And how I end this thing?